how's it going, YouTube? So today I'm going to be working on a very special car, and I wanted to kind of share with you guys a little story behind this car. It's a 2000 Pontiac Trans-Am, and it's a base model, not a W6 option car, but it is a super sweet ride, and one of my favorite cars actually. The 4th gen F bodies are one of my favorite cars. I actually own a bunch of them. My first car was actually a 95 V6 Camaro with the 5-speed, and then I owned a 98 Trans Am following that with the 6-speed. Then my wife bought this car, which is a 2000 Trans Am. Also owned a 94 Formula and a 99 Trans Am convertible, which was a pretty wicked ride. It was a heads camp car with a 12 bolt, and you know, it was a really wicked ride. But this car here, my wife, the story behind this car was actually my brother-in-law originally bought this car, and then he passed it on to my other brother-in-law, G, which is the chief editor and creator of G's Footage YouTube channel. So he actually had the car for a little bit and just kind of parked in the garage and took very good care of it. And quick change of events, my wife got the car, and she daily drove this car for for a long time, you know. And then we ended up buying a house, having kids, stuff like that, and we actually sold the car off to a good friend of mine, David, which has taken very good care of the car. And here it is. But this is what happened. Somehow somebody tried to burn this car, so they actually caught on fire, and they repainted it. They painted it good, but they didn't repaint the CETA mod the way I had it back in the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that today. That's gonna be today's episode, and we're gonna do like some spark plugs and things like that. But just wanted to kind of show you guys the car and why it means so much to me, and I'm grateful that David has taken really good care of it, because it's really meant. Okay, so funny story on this hood. I purchased this hood, and as you guys can still see the markings here, it used to have black stripes here, because this hood was on my 99 Trans Am convertible, my pride and joy car. So when I sold my car, actually no, I'm lying. Actually, I swapped this hood out for a Firehawk hood that I left with my car when I sold it, and then I sold this hood to David's brother, which then sold his Trans Am and sold this hood to David. But this hood came from my 99 Trans Am and went on to my old 99 Trans Am, which is insane. But there it is. And car's super mint. It used to have Eagle wheels, but now it sits on the original OEM wheels. And this thing is super mint. Like, I'll show you guys inside of it, and I'll show you guys the bumper. As you can see here, see how they painted it. So we have to sand it down, get rid of all the clear coat to make sure that the new paint adheres to it. But check out these Mecham tips. These things are wicked. My brother-in-law actually got these put on before my wife got it. But super mint car, super mint car. I mean, for a 20-year-old car. And look at the interior. I mean, this thing is super sweet, super mint. I mean, you don't find them like this anymore. Super badass ride. Now, surprisingly enough, I never modified this car. It was my wife's daily for a long time, and we never did anything to it. The only thing this car has is a debaffled stock air lid. So the bottom of the air lid, I cut off the baffles. I believe I did an EGR mod where you cut the EGR tube and maybe a free ram air mod at the bottom. But aside from that, this car is, I mean, no long tubes, no, I mean, all the emissions are here. This car is 100% bone stock, and it is definitely a beauty. So this is a quick recap of my wife's old 99 Trans-Am that now belongs to my good friend David. We're gonna do a CETA mod today. We're gonna do some spark plugs, and then maybe when he gets here, you guys could get a little drive-off sound clip. But it's stock with the muffler. I think I sold it to him with the MagnaFlow. I looked down there and it looks like it has like something else, like a square muffler, like a hooker aero chamber or something like that. But sounds good. So, yep, that's the story behind the Torch Red TA. What I'm using here is I'm gonna go ahead and use 600 grit to knock off all of the clear coat. And what you can do, I'm actually pretty careful when I do it. You can actually tape up all of the bumper first, so you make sure you don't scratch it, like the top part, which I'm going to do right now. But I just wanted to see how is the 600 going to do to knock down that clear coat, because it looks like Body Shop threw a bunch of it on there. So we'll make sure you get all the edges really good, because that's usually where it's going to start coming off from. Get rid of all the fish eyes. So just to get an idea. Okay, it looks like 600 is going to be the perfect choice to get rid of the clear coat. But I'll zoom in here so you guys kind of see what I'm talking about. So, see how shiny this side is? And now this side is very dull. But if you guys can see all that orange peel? You're gonna have to knock all that down and kind of leave it like this. So, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna tape up all of that, so to make sure that I don't scratch the bumper. First thing I did was all the edging. So I used little pinstripe tape like this, just to make sure that I got the line as perfect as I could. And then I followed with some of this tape. Watch, I'll show you guys here. You see? First I did the pinstripe, and then I covered it with some of this, just to make sure that that when I do sand in here, I don't scratch the top part. Okay, so remember, we have to sand all of this. See all this shininess? We gotta get rid of it. We gotta leave it like this, and then we gotta do in here too, really good, because that's where it's gonna start peeling from. So this is why I taped it here, so we don't scratch it. We don't want to scratch this. So as you guys can see here, we knocked down all the clear coat. We didn't damage the bumper. You see the difference by taping it before. And we have some little areas here, you see that? And right here, and right here, and a little bit right here. So we're gonna touch those little areas up, and it should be ready for paint. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see here, we're ready for paint. So just to recap with you guys, in case you guys want to do it at home, this is how I do it. Basically what I did first was tape up any area that I did not want to get scratched up. Once I did that, I went ahead and used 600 grit sandpaper to knock down the heavy clear coat that this car had on top of it and expose a clean surface for the new paint to adhere to. Once I did that, I retaped up the whole car, put a car cover over it to avoid any overspray, things like that. And now I'm going to wipe it down with alcohol. The reason why I wiped it down last is because I didn't want to, start messing with the tape and the edging and all that stuff, contaminate the surface before I painted it. So I got everything prepped good. Now I'm going to wipe it down and it's going to be ready for some paint. We're going to use some of this stuff. Let me go grab the spray can that I'm going to use. I usually use, like if it's a plastic bumper, I'll use like a Bulldog with some flexible primer and the paint, right? But since this car, we had already done a CETA mod on it, so it was already painted, and then the body shop painted it again when they did it red. We already had paint in back of it. So all we did was knock off the clear coat to throw on the new paint. So this is where we're at. Let's go ahead and shoot some paint. I'm not going to shoot the paint with the camera on because I don't want to damage it with the overspray, but I will show you guys the aftermath, I guess you can say. So cool. Okay guys, so this is the first coat, which is your edging coat. I don't know if you guys can see. I literally just misted it just to make sure it grabs on good, and I'm liking the color of it. I wasn't too sure I was gonna like it. It's almost satin, and I looked everywhere for satin, but I couldn't find it. I found semi-gloss that was kind of close to satin, but the body shop place didn't recommend it. They recommended this brand. So it says no adhesion promoter required. So this stuff should stick on pretty good. This is the first coat. Give it a couple minutes, let it dry up, and then we're gonna hit it with the nice even coat. But this is just to make sure that it sticks and it doesn't seep under the tape and all that stuff. This is what my cousin told me is called the edging coat. So hopefully it comes out nice. Okay, so this is coat number 2 officially, maybe 3, but we got one more, and this is going to be super even. I don't see any spots with red anymore, so we're good. Yep. CETA mod. Who would have thought I would be breaking a sweat? Alright guys, so that concludes how to do a CETA mod, or at least how I do the CETA mods on the 4th generation F bodies. I'm gonna leave you guys here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the spark plugs and wires on this car, and it's not fun to do a spark plug replacement on a Trans-Am 4th gen. It's just a pain. So I won't put you guys through watching me do that, but nevertheless guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out this little story behind this car, and we'll catch you guys on the next